This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Got a little bit of a challenge for you today, and we're having a game of bingo later. More on that in a moment, but first of all to the challenge. It concerns this guitar. This is a Harley Benton SC552, which now sports a pair of iron gear blues engine pickups, and I'm very happy with it. And you may recall that I've been doing a couple of comparisons with that guitar between it and some more expensive alternatives. A few weeks ago I did a comparison between that guitar, albeit with the original pickups, and a Gibson Les Paul Standard from 1996, and more recently I put it up against this guitar, this Epiphone Les Paul Classic Worn. And on both occasions I think the Harley Benton acquitted itself rather well. But whenever I do any kind of comparison between a Harley Benton and something that looks very similar but costs a lot more, I inevitably get comments of this nature.
Harley Bentons? They can't touch Gibson or Epiphone. Come on, John, you know this.
Well, I tell you what, Frankie, today could be your lucky day to pocket some easy cash, because coming up in a moment you are going to hear a piece of music where I use both guitars, the Harley Benton and the Epiphone. And all you've got to do is identify which guitar is which. Okay, you're not going to see me playing the guitars for obvious reasons, but you will see a stopwatch on screen ticking round, and all you got to do is kind of determine when I'm using the Harley Benton, when I'm using the Epiphone, and at which point I switch from one to the other, and when I switch back again, if indeed I do. Then, once you're absolutely, there's my phone going off, once you're absolutely certain that you know when one guitar switches to the other, and you know which one is which, write down your answers in an email and send that email to me via my website. You can see the address on screen there, and the link is in the description. Use the email form on the website to get in touch and tell me what you think is going on with those guitars. And the first person to send me the correct answers of when one guitar is switching to another, etc., etc., what I've just been talking about, well, I'll send you a £50 Amazon voucher. How about that? Got to be easy money then, hasn't it? If you can so easily determine when when you're listening to a Harley Benton, a cheap, nasty, lowly Harley Benton, and the much more superior Epiphone. So here's the piece of music. Get to it. And there is a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with the jam track to play along with. That is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. Thank you so much to everybody who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below. Anyway, get your entries in by, where are we now? It's the 9th of December today, so we'll keep this open for a week, 7 days, so 16th of December, get your entries in by then, and you could win a £50 Amazon voucher. Got to be worth having a go, hasn't it? And now on to that game of bingo. Here we go, yes indeed, Badge Snob Bingo. Whenever I do any kind of comparison between Harley Benton and its more expensive lookalikes, you know, I always get certain comments. I can, you know, pretty much rely upon these, and so I put together this little bingo card. I'm hoping that all of the cork sniffers and badge snobs will, you know, help me kind of tick off all of these comments in the section below. So let's run through them. Apparently, it's not a fair comparison. You know, two guitars played by the same person on the same day over the same track through the same settings. But it's not a fair comparison, apparently. What else we got? It doesn't matter what they sound like. Yes, indeed. I've had this one a couple of times. You see that PRS copy on the wall behind me, that Harley Benton CST24? I did a comparison between that and an actual PRS a few years ago, and that was one of the comments that was left there. Apparently, the point of a musical instrument is not what it sounds like. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then the other one, I get this quite a bit. I'm a shill. Yes, indeed, I'm an undercover agent for Harley Benton. My mission is to secretly enhance their sales, and they'd be nothing without me, would they? It's too cheap to be any good. Well, yeah, I mean, there is that suspicion, but that's usually from people that haven't played one. The reason why Harley Bentons are so cheap, it's like when you buy something from a factory outlet store, you know, where the factory sells direct to the customer without, you know, going through, you know, a distributor and a wholesaler and an importer and all that usual supply chain. It's cutting out the middleman that is the large part of what makes Harley Bentons so cheap, not because they're just made from plywood, bubblegum and snot. It's no better than a Chibson. Yeah, we get this all the time. People are equating Harley Bentons to some, you know, AliExpress knockoff forgery. Excuse me. They aren't putting a Gibson logo on it. It's quite open about what it is. It's not pretending to be something that it isn't. The body shape is different. You know, it's not attempting to pass itself off as something that it isn't. So that one just doesn't hold any water. I wouldn't be seen dead playing one. Yes, indeed. Well, so for you then, the guitar is more of a fashion accessory than a musical instrument. Yeah, enough said. You're delusional. That's another one I get all the time. Yes, I've had that quite a few times from the same person. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I know absolutely nothing about playing the guitar or what makes a good guitar and what doesn't. But here's the thing. My mortgage is this close to being paid off. Couple more years, I'll be mortgage free, and that's all down to me playing the guitar. Okay, that's what's earned my living for the past 30 years, and that's what's gonna, you know, kind of pay off my mortgage. So, yeah, do I know nothing about playing the guitars? Maybe I do, maybe I don't, maybe I am delusional. All I know is it's worked for me. I played one once. It was awful, so they all are. Yes, well, I could say the same about pretty much any brand of guitars. You know, all of the big boys, all of the big brand names. I've picked up and played an awful example of, you know, Gibsons, Fenders, you know, you name it. But, you know, you don't tar them with the same brush. You just think, well, I got a bad one there, or it needed a bit of setting up, or it was just, you know, it was a Friday afternoon or a Monday morning job in the factory, you know. Mind you, there is one brand of guitar where I've played, I think, 3 of them, and they were all pretty awful. And it's a well-known brand, but I'm far too discreet to mention what that is. So, there you go. That's the game of Badge Snob Bingo. Okay, as I say, I'm relying upon all of the cork sniffers and badge snobs to give me each one of those comments in the comment section, so I can tick them all off and you know, kind of fill up the bingo card. And that is it for today, folks. Hope you found the video reasonably entertaining, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream tomorrow, Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer. Basically, that's what it's all about. And weekend, you know, we talk about guitars and music and stuff as well, or whatever else crops up. It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend, and I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.